Stories and Documentary Network. Welcome back to our channel. The Phrygian Kingdom stands as one of the most fascinating powers of ancient Anatolia, flourishing during the first millennium BCE. Emerging after the collapse of the Hittite Empire, the Phrygians carved out a unique identity in the central regions of modern-day Turkey. Known for their rich cultural contributions, innovative governance, and enduring mythology, the kingdom became synonymous with the legendary King Midas, whose name evokes tales of immense wealth and the infamous Golden Touch. Beyond its material wealth, the Phrygian kingdom left a profound legacy in mythology and religion. The worship of Cybele, the revered mother goddess, and the integration of Phrygian myths into Greek and Roman traditions underscore its lasting influence on the ancient world. The story of a nascent kingdom of Phrygia in central Anatolia unfolds with the arrival of Indo-European migrants during the Late Bronze Age, around the 13th century BCE. Drawn by a confluence of population pressures, climatic upheavals, and the collapse of great powers like the Mycenaeans and Hittites, these groups found a new home in the fertile lands of Anatolia. Amidst this backdrop of upheaval, a distinctive cultural identity began to take shape. As these settlers moved into the Anatolian plateau, they encountered the remnants of the Hittite civilization, a shadow of its former imperial might. Archaeological discoveries paint a vivid picture of this interaction, a blend of displacement and assimilation. At Gordian, an epicenter of this transformation, layers of habitation reveal the evolution of a community adapting to its new surroundings. Pottery from this era, with its geometric designs and polished surfaces, tells a tale of cultural fusion, merging Balkan traditions with Anatolian artistry. The landscape itself became a canvas for societal advancement. Tumuli, monumental burial mounds scattered across central Anatolia, signified more than a reverence for the dead. They embodied the rise of a hierarchical society, marking the graves of elites and asserting territorial dominance. These mounds stood as symbols of power, heralding the dawn of an organized and cohesive community. The journey from fragmented tribes to a unified kingdom was set in motion after the fall of the Hittite Empire. With the region fractured and leaderless, the early first millennium BCE presented a fertile ground for the rise of a new power. Amid this transformation, the legendary figure Gordias emerged, a symbol of unity and leadership. According to tradition, Gordias founded the city of Gordian, strategically nestled near the Sangarius River. This location proved invaluable, granting access to vital trade routes and agricultural abundance. Gordia's humble beginnings are immortalized in the tale of the Gordian knot. The oracle's prophecy that the next ruler would arrive in a simple cart elevated a farmer to the throne. The intricate knot, tied to the cart and deemed impossible to untangle, became a lasting emblem of ingenuity and destiny. Alexander the Great's decisive act of cutting the knot centuries later cemented its place in legend, intertwining it with the aspirations of empires. The rise of the kingdom occurred within a dynamic and fragmented landscape. Following the collapse of the Hittite Empire, Anatolia became a patchwork of competing states and tribes. In this tumult, a cohesive society emerged, blending inherited traditions with innovative governance. Interactions with neighboring cultures shaped the identity of this new power. Influences from the Hittites lingered, evident in architecture and religious motifs, yet these elements were reimagined to fit a unique cultural framework. To the east, exchanges with the Assyrian Empire brought exposure to advanced systems of administration and warfare, offering valuable lessons in statecraft. Despite these interactions, the kingdom retained its autonomy, navigating a complex web of diplomacy and rivalry. In the West, the relationship with the Lydians was marked by both collaboration and conflict. Trade and cultural exchange flourished, enriching both societies, even as tensions simmered. Gordian, the beating heart of the kingdom, became a crossroads of commerce and ideas, a testament to its strategic importance. The arrival of the Sumerians in the 7th century BCE marked a dramatic turning point. These nomadic warriors from the Eurasian steppe swept through Anatolia, leaving devastation in their wake. Their raids weakened the kingdom, paving the way for Lydian dominance. Yet, despite these challenges, the legacy of this once mighty realm endured, influencing the cultural and political landscape of the region for centuries. Nestled in the heart of Anatolia, the kingdom occupied a region of remarkable diversity. Its territory spanned vast plains, undulating hills, and formidable mountain ranges, each contributing uniquely to its development. The lands surrounding the great river known today as the Sakarya were particularly significant. These fertile valleys, nurtured by a temperate climate and steady rainfall, sustained thriving agricultural communities. Grains, fruits, and vegetables flourished, feeding the population and supporting a robust trade economy. Orchards yielded an array of produce, from apples to pomegranates, which were sought after far beyond the region. The highlands and rugged mountains not only offered protection but also proved invaluable for their resources. Rich deposits of timber and stone bolstered construction efforts, while mineral wealth underpinned economic growth. These natural defenses fostered a sense of security, allowing settlements to flourish without constant fear of invasion. Meanwhile, the animal husbandry that thrived across these terrains provided a steady supply of wool, meat, and dairy, with sheep herding particularly central to cultural and economic life. This interdependence between land and people underscored the kingdom's resilience and innovation. Waterways played an essential role in sustaining both agriculture and commerce. Rivers acted as lifelines, linking settlements and facilitating the movement of goods. Ingenious irrigation systems extended the arable landscape, ensuring the consistent production of staple crops and mitigating the impact of environmental challenges. This effective harnessing of natural resources became a hallmark of the kingdom's enduring strength. Positioned at a vital crossroads of the ancient world, the kingdom emerged as a linchpin in regional commerce. It connected the Aegean coast to the vibrant cultures of Mesopotamia and beyond, serving as a conduit for goods, ideas, and technologies. Among the most important trade arteries was the famed Royal Road, which facilitated the efficient movement of commodities and linked key urban centers, including the prominent city that served as the kingdom's political and economic nucleus. Textile production stood at the forefront of the economy. Renowned for their durability and exquisite craftsmanship, fabrics produced from locally sourced wool were highly prized in distant markets. Intricate patterns and vibrant dyes reflected the artistic sophistication of the region's artisans. Timber, too, emerged as a significant export, with wood from the kingdom's forests meeting the demands of construction and shipbuilding industries in resource-scarce regions. Trade networks also introduced luxury goods and exotic materials into the kingdom's markets, enriching its cultural tapestry. Precious metals, spices, and rare artifacts inspired local artisans, who seamlessly integrated these influences into their creations. This dynamic exchange extended beyond tangible items, shaping artistic expressions, religious practices, and technological innovations that radiated outward from the kingdom's borders. Yet, the region's strategic importance was a double-edged sword. The wealth generated by commerce attracted the ambitions of neighboring powers. Rival states and empires sought to control these lucrative routes, often challenging the kingdom's sovereignty. The governance of the kingdom was fundamentally anchored in a centralized monarchy, where the ruler embodied both the administrative authority and a spiritual symbol of unity. This duality was essential in forging a stable state, especially in a region characterized by ethnic and cultural diversity. The monarchy did not function solely as a political institution. It was deeply intertwined with the spiritual beliefs of the people. The ruler was viewed as a chosen intermediary, an individual granted divine favor to guide and protect the kingdom. Gordias, the reputed founder of the capital, Gordian, is credited with establishing the dynasty that would define the kingdom's identity for centuries. His role extended beyond mere governance. Gordias is remembered for his ability to unify disparate tribes and communities into a cohesive state. This unification was no small feat in a region historically fragmented by tribal conflicts and competing local powers. Under his reign, the capital became a hub of cultural and political activity, symbolizing the kingdom's newfound stability. The royal court, located at the heart of Gordian, not only served as the administrative center but also as a vibrant cultural nucleus, where artists, craftsmen, and thinkers thrived under royal patronage. The legacy of the monarchy reached its zenith during the reign of Midas, whose name is synonymous with wealth and prosperity in both historical and mythological accounts. Beyond the tales of his golden touch, Midas demonstrated exceptional political acumen, navigating the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined the ancient Near East. Historical records suggest he established strong diplomatic ties with neighboring states, including Assyria, which was then a dominant power. Through strategic alliances, trade agreements, and tribute negotiations, Midas ensured his kingdom's economic stability and regional influence. The wealth amassed during his reign allowed the monarchy to commission monumental architecture and support artistic endeavors, further solidifying its role as a cultural beacon. Rituals and symbolism were integral to the monarchy's legitimacy. The ruler's sacred status was reinforced through elaborate ceremonies, often held in the capital's temples, where the king performed rituals to invoke divine favor. These events were not only spiritual but also political, as they underscored the king's role as a unifying figure. The use of regal insignia, such as ornate crowns and scepters, visually conveyed the monarchy's divine mandate and its authority over the kingdom. Few symbols encapsulate the kingdom's identity as profoundly as the Gordian knot, an intricate artifact steeped in both legend and political significance. According to tradition, Gordias tied the knot as an offering to the gods, dedicating it in the temple of Zeus in Gordian. The knot itself was an extraordinary creation, its complexity serving as a metaphor for the unity and resilience of the kingdom. A prophecy surrounded this enigmatic object, claiming that whoever could unravel the knot would become the ruler of Asia. This prophecy imbued the knot with a mystique that transcended its physical form, making it a symbol of ambition and destiny. For centuries, the knot remained a focal point of intrigue, attracting leaders and adventurers drawn by its challenge and its promise. The legend took on a new dimension during the campaigns of Alexander the Great. Arriving in Gordian in 333 BCE, Alexander faced the challenge of the knot, a moment charged with both personal ambition and political theater. Unable to untie it traditionally, he famously cut through it with his sword, declaring that he had fulfilled the prophecy. This act not only demonstrated his boldness but also cemented his reputation as a leader destined for greatness. For the kingdom itself, the knot likely held a more profound meaning. It was a testament to the unity forged by Gordias, symbolizing the cohesion of a once divided land. Its placement in the temple of Zeus underscored the divine sanction of the monarchy, linking the kingdom's stability to its spiritual foundations. This narrative reinforced the idea that the ruler's legitimacy was both earthly and divine, ensuring loyalty and solidarity among the population. The military was a cornerstone of the kingdom's governance, not merely as a defensive force but as a crucial institution for maintaining internal stability and projecting power. Composed of infantry, cavalry, and possibly chariot units, the army drew its ranks from a diverse array of regions and allied communities. This inclusivity not only strengthened the military but also fostered a sense of shared responsibility across the kingdom's territories. Central Anatolia's rugged terrain presented unique challenges and opportunities for defense. The kingdom's leaders capitalized on this geography, constructing fortified cities and strategic outposts to secure vital trade routes and key regions. Gordian, with its imposing walls and advantageous location, exemplified this approach. The city served as both a defensive stronghold and a control point for commerce, ensuring the kingdom's economic and strategic interests were protected. The military also relied on mobility and adaptability. Cavalry units, adept at traversing the open plains, provided the kingdom with a tactical advantage in both offense and defense. Chariots, while less versatile, added an element of prestige and might, often employed in ceremonial displays as well as battlefield engagements. Diplomacy played an equally vital role in the kingdom's survival and prosperity. Positioned at the crossroads of major civilizations, the kingdom had to navigate a delicate balance of cooperation and resistance with its neighbors. Alliances with powerful states, such as Assyria, were instrumental in maintaining autonomy while avoiding direct confrontations. Tribute payments, while sometimes viewed as a sign of subordination, were often strategic measures to preserve stability and prevent invasions. Despite its military prowess and diplomatic acumen, the kingdom faced significant challenges in the 7th century BCE. The arrival of nomadic warriors, known for their devastating raids, tested the kingdom's resilience. These invaders, unbound by the conventional tactics of settled states, posed a threat that even the most fortified cities could not fully withstand. The eventual fall of Gordian marked the beginning of the kingdom's decline, culminating in its absorption into a neighboring empire. Religion was the cornerstone of society, shaping every facet of life, from governance and culture to individual daily routines. The spiritual worldview revolved around a pantheon of deities, with Cybele, the mother goddess, at its center. Known in later Greco-Roman traditions as Magna Mater, Cybele symbolized fertility, protection, and the untamed power of nature. She was a nurturing yet formidable deity, embodying the life-giving and destructive forces of the natural world. Her worship was elaborate and deeply symbolic. Rituals often took place in temples, open-air sanctuaries, or natural settings such as caves and mountain peaks, places believed to be imbued with divine energy. Statues and carvings of Cybele frequently depicted her enthroned, flanked by lions, signifying her dominion over both the wild and the civilized. These depictions, along with votive offerings found across the kingdom, suggest her widespread veneration as a protector and provider. Seasonal festivals played a crucial role in religious life, aligning with the cycles of planting, harvest, and renewal. These communal celebrations combined music, rhythmic drumming, and ecstatic dancing, believed to connect participants with the divine. Priests and priestesses, central figures in these rituals, acted as mediators, performing sacrifices and invoking blessings. The use of music and movement in ceremonies reflected a belief that sound and rhythm could bridge the earthly and spiritual realms, fostering harmony between humanity and the divine. Beyond Cybele, the spiritual landscape was rich with animistic elements. Sacred groves, springs, rivers, and mountains were often regarded as dwelling places of spirits or lesser deities. These natural sites became focal points for localized worship, with offerings left to honor the spirits believed to inhabit them. Ancestor worship also played a role in connecting communities to their lineage, reinforcing the bonds between the living and the dead. The mythology of the kingdom holds a timeless allure, most famously embodied in the legend of King Midas. This tale of ambition, transformation, and redemption has transcended cultural boundaries, evolving into a universal parable about human desire and its consequences. According to the myth, Midas was granted the power to turn everything he touched into gold, a gift bestowed by the god Dionysus. Initially seen as a blessing, the power quickly revealed its tragic potential, threatening to strip the king of all he held dear. Midas's association with Dionysus underscores the deep connection between the kingdom's mythology and Dionysian cults, which celebrated themes of renewal, fertility, and the rejection of societal constraints. The resolution of Midas's plight, achieved by washing away his power in the Pactolus River, symbolizes purification and the restoration of balance, aligning with broader themes of harmony with nature. Phrygian myths extended beyond Midas, influencing the cultural narratives of neighboring civilizations. Elements of their mythology were integrated into Greek and Roman traditions, often reimagined to suit new contexts. This blending of stories and motifs created a shared cultural tapestry, reflecting the interconnectedness of ancient societies. For instance, the reverence for Cybele found echoes in the adoption of Magna Mater in Roman state religion, where her rites became integral to imperial ideology. The spiritual heart of the kingdom was reflected in its sacred sites, ranging from grand temples to humble rock-cut sanctuaries. These spaces not only served as places of worship but also as embodiments of the kingdom's spiritual identity. The Temple of Cybele at Pessinus stood as one of the most prominent religious centers. Believed to be the primary cult site of the mother goddess, the temple drew pilgrims from across Anatolia and beyond, seeking divine favor and protection. The temple's priests, known as the Galli, were integral to its functioning. These individuals, often eunuchs, performed complex rituals, including music, chanting, and animal sacrifices, to honor Cybele. Their unique role within the religious hierarchy highlighted the kingdom's distinct approach to spirituality, where devotion often transcended traditional societal norms. In addition to grand temples, rock-cut sanctuaries dotted the rugged landscape, blending spiritual reverence with natural beauty. These sanctuaries, carved into hillsides and cliffs, featured altars, inscriptions, and intricate reliefs dedicated to various deities. They served as communal and personal spaces of worship, allowing individuals to connect with the divine in intimate and awe-inspiring settings. Among the most iconic of these sites is the Midas Monument, an immense rock carving near Gordian. Dedicated to Cybele, the monument features a highly detailed facade adorned with inscriptions in the ancient language. The site serves as both a religious and artistic marvel, offering a glimpse into the spiritual and cultural priorities of the kingdom. It also underscores the importance of monumental art in expressing devotion and asserting the kingdom's identity within the broader ancient world. One notable discovery is the exquisitely preserved wooden furniture from the tumuli at Gordian, which includes intricately inlaid tables and stools. These items, crafted with exceptional precision, attest to the advanced woodworking techniques and the prominence of such items in elite households. The use of wood, a perishable material, also underscores the kingdom's deep connection to the natural resources of its environment. In the realm of architecture, the kingdom's ingenuity is most evident in its monumental tumuli. These burial mounds, some of the largest in Anatolia, were constructed with meticulous engineering to honor the kingdom's rulers and elites. The Midas Mound, the most famous of these structures, is a striking example of this architectural tradition. Within these tombs, archaeologists have uncovered lavish grave goods that include intricately designed pottery, bronze vessels, and finely crafted wooden artifacts. These discoveries provide a vivid picture of the kingdom's wealth and its ability to merge artistic expression with practical use. The rock-cut sanctuaries and monuments scattered throughout the region further exemplify its architectural innovation. Structures like the Midas Monument, carved directly into cliffs, showcase the kingdom's ability to harmonize its built environment with the surrounding landscape. These sites served as both religious sanctuaries and enduring symbols of cultural identity, with inscriptions and carvings that offer valuable insights into its spiritual and artistic priorities. The language of the kingdom, an Indo-European dialect, is a vital link to its cultural and historical identity. Written primarily using a script derived from the Greek alphabet, inscriptions have been found on stone stelae, pottery, and metal objects, providing glimpses into the lives, beliefs, and governance of its people. These inscriptions are often votive or funerary, dedicated to deities or commemorating notable individuals. One notable example is the inscription on the Midas Monument, which references Cybele and underscores the importance of religious devotion in the kingdom's society. Such texts, though limited in number, reveal a complex interplay between spiritual practices and daily life. They also highlight the importance of literacy and the use of written language as a tool for cultural expression and record-keeping. Linguistic analysis shows that the kingdom's language shared affinities with other Anatolian languages, such as Lydian and Hittite, reflecting a rich tradition of cultural and linguistic exchange. This interconnectedness is a testament to its position at the crossroads of the ancient world, where influences from the Near East and the Aegean converged. Despite the challenges of decipherment, ongoing research continues to shed light on the nuances of this ancient language, enriching our understanding of its role in the broader cultural and historical context. Music held a similarly prominent place in the cultural life of the kingdom. The aulos, a double-reeded wind instrument, was a signature feature of its musical tradition. The kingdom's association with the Phrygian mode, a scale known for its emotive and evocative qualities, underscored its influence on the music theory of neighboring cultures, particularly Greece. The Phrygian mode was often associated with themes of passion, mysticism, and spiritual transcendence, reflecting the profound role of music in both sacred and communal contexts. The mythological figure Marsyas, a satyr connected to the kingdom, exemplifies its deep ties to music. In the legend, Marsyas challenges the god Apollo to a musical contest, ultimately facing divine punishment for his hubris. This myth not only underscores the cultural significance of music but also reflects broader themes of creativity, competition, and the consequences of ambition. The kingdom's eventual decline can be traced to a combination of internal weaknesses that undermined its stability and resilience. Political fragmentation and administrative inefficiency played a significant role in destabilizing the once thriving state. As the kingdom expanded, managing its territories and diverse population became increasingly complex. Evidence suggests that the central authority in Gordian struggled to maintain control over outlying regions, leading to a weakening of the cohesion that had previously defined the kingdom. Local governors and tribal leaders likely asserted greater autonomy, eroding the centralized power of the monarchy and creating fractures within the kingdom's governance. Economic strains also compounded these challenges. While the kingdom had enjoyed considerable prosperity, the reliance on trade and agriculture left it vulnerable to fluctuations in both. Poor harvests, possibly caused by environmental changes, would have put immense pressure on food supplies and trade revenues. Archaeological studies in Gordian have uncovered evidence of significant seismic activity, with signs of earthquake damage in key structures such as granaries and fortifications. These natural disasters would have disrupted agricultural production and destabilized urban centers, further straining the kingdom's resources. The social fabric of the kingdom may also have suffered during this period. Growing economic inequality, evidenced by the increasingly lavish burials of the elite, likely created tensions between the ruling class and the broader population. This discontent, coupled with the administrative inefficiencies and environmental challenges, created a perfect storm of internal pressures that left the kingdom vulnerable to external threats. The rise of neighboring powers further accelerated the kingdom's decline. Lydia, under the rule of its ambitious kings, began to assert dominance over western Anatolia. The Lydians, with their wealth and military strength, gradually eclipsed Phrygia, absorbing its territory and influence. The famous story of King Midas's death, often linked to despair over the kingdom's collapse, reflects the profound impact of these external pressures. While historical accuracy remains uncertain, the narrative underscores the sense of inevitability surrounding Phrygia's downfall. The changing political landscape of the region also saw the emergence of larger empires, such as Assyria, whose expansionist ambitions destabilized the balance of power in Anatolia. Though Phrygia had previously managed to maintain a degree of autonomy through diplomacy and trade, the cumulative effect of invasions and rival powers left the kingdom increasingly marginalized and unable to recover its former prominence. By the 6th century BCE, Phrygia had been absorbed into the burgeoning Achaemenid Persian Empire, marking the end of its independence. Under Persian rule, the region retained its cultural identity to some extent, serving as a satrapy, province, within the empire's vast administrative system. Persian influence introduced new administrative practices and infrastructural developments, but the legacy of Phrygia endured through its contributions to art, religion, and mythology. The cult of Cybele, for example, continued to flourish under Persian patronage, spreading further westward and eventually influencing Hellenistic and Roman religious traditions. Phrygia's incorporation into larger empires did not mark the end of its significance. When Alexander the Great swept through Anatolia in the 4th century BCE, he famously visited Gordian and encountered the Gordian knot. According to legend, whoever could untie this intricate knot would become the ruler of Asia. Alexander's bold decision to cut through the knot symbolized his conquest of the region and the integration of Phrygia into his vast empire. The story of the Gordian knot, much like that of King Midas, became emblematic of the region's enduring cultural legacy. In the centuries that followed, Phrygia remained a vital cultural and economic crossroads, influencing the Roman and Byzantine empires. Its religious traditions, artistic achievements, and mythological stories continued to shape the cultural narratives of the ancient world. While the kingdom itself may have fallen, its legacy endured, woven into the fabric of the civilizations that succeeded it. From the opulent tombs of Gordian to the myths of Midas and the Gordian knot, Phrygia's contributions to history remain a testament to its creativity, resilience, and enduring influence.